Right to the Lakers and the NBA playoffs. This thing is just blowing up. A lot of people think this trade with New Orleans for Anthony Davis is going to happen. Apparently, David Griffin wants that pick before the draft, which is 20th, is the NBA draft, I think, which is coming up. Mm-hmm. I think it might happen sooner rather than later. There was an interesting article today that picked up off Facebook that really gives the Lakers a huge edge because of the Durant. You hate to see anybody go down, but this is a big advantage to the Lakers now because it really puts the crimps on the Knicks and what they wanted to do. There's no way now that they can offer a third pick in a package to New Orleans if Durant's going to probably be out all of next season.
Yeah, he's going to be out, but maybe all of next season. I mean, there's a possibility that he could come back sometime near the end of the year or the playoffs next year. And Achilles tendons are notoriously awful, but there's, in theory, he could be back. At whether he's going to be the typical KD or not is another story. But I was reading today, and again, I don't remember the source exactly, but that they're saying that the Knicks, the Lakers, and one other team are still interested in signing Durant at a max deal, which I find preposterous. But I guess it's possible. I guess it's possible. He's not. I mean, he's young enough to where there's still some, tread there left there. He could sign a 1-year deal somewhere, or he could just opt back in with the Warriors.
He's got a $31 million opt-in contract, which I think if I was him, I'd probably sign that in a heartbeat, rather than wait to see what happens with the surgery and what the offers are out there. I think I'd grab that 31.5 and run with it.
Yeah, I wanted to say, I was gloating, and not a great word when a guy's, career is in the balance, but I was, gloating about how, to me, it never looked like it was anything other than an Achilles.
Yeah, you mentioned that.
And I'm not alone. In fact, there was an article by Arthur Weinstein in the Sporting News, and I'll read from it. It says, although Golden State quickly announced Durant had suffered a calf strain, some observers wondered if that hunch was correct. And there's a Dr. David Chow. He was skeptical. He's a board-certified orthopedic surgeon, sports medicine specialist, spent almost 2 decades as an NFL head team physician for the Chargers, and he does instant analysis on Sirius XM Sports and on the NFL Network. And he said when he saw it, he did not think that it was a calf. He thinks that, look, for semantic reasons, yeah, you could call it a calf injury, and technically the Achilles is part of the calf. But he believes that he was off 32 days, right? Yeah. 32 days since suffering the injury. And Chow said he made the initial diagnosis from watching the footage that it was an Achilles injury. And after reviewing video of Monday's incident, he said it appears Durant's calf muscle was so strong it overpowered his Achilles, which he says can be seen rippling in his lower leg in the replay. And he says, so if it was strong enough to, which is what happens, right? It's like a tug of war, right? Going on between the calf muscle and the tendon, right? Mm-hmm. He said there's no way that he had the kind of injury that they claim, calf strain. He would have been weaker than that. It would have been too weak to pull the Achilles. So he says, and he thinks, he believes, and again, he doesn't know for sure, but he believes that it was always an Achilles problem. And that's what I said from the very beginning, that it looked like an Achilles problem. He said that the way that Durant was icing his Achilles on that night after the first injury, he thought for sure it was an Achilles. So I think they slow played it. I said before that I didn't think they were being genuine about what had happened to him, and I think that they all just agreed that it might be a slight Achilles tear, but we're just gonna try it. He wanted to play. The Warriors wanted him to play, and they made they weighed the risk reward, and they tried it, and they got burned.
That article that was on Facebook saying that the Knicks now will be forced to keep their draft picks. Make no sense. Just give away all your assets, for an average team around Davis, and then he leaves, next year if the team is not a
If
winner.
they can't resign, he won't extend, yeah.
So,
Well, when have the Knicks done anything
yeah.
reasonable? I mean, the long-suffering Knicks fans would say that sounds about right, that they'd sign Durant and